Dave, what's the feeling after a game like that? Proud of the performance in the second half, or disappointed that you couldn't quite find that winner?
Both, but overriding thoughts are really proud of our second half performance, because I never questioned them, but you certainly ask questions in terms of an opportunity to play in front of the TV cameras, to have family, friends at home, young children watching, and all of a sudden you don't want to be going back home and saying, Daddy, why did you lose, and why was this, that and the other. So we need to be, I suppose, true to us and show some resilience. People think they've got resilience, but regardless of us getting the 2 goals, I hate losing, I've said before, but there's a manner in which you lose. If you've not won that game, I'll take the second half. If we'd have conceded a goal in the last minute, as disappointed and frustrated as I'd been, I'd have taken that, because that was all in terms of how we went about it. We've run ourselves into the ground on a really, really tough pitch, and got a point which we'll take.
The response, as you say, was exceptional in that second half. What did you say to get that response?
Exactly that. I can shout and I can rant when I want to, and I probably do it too much. But it was like I say, pretty calm for me. But in terms of, you're asking yourself questions, aren't you, as to why are you and why are we as a team sat in the position that we're sat. It's not just through good play. It's not through luck going in your way. It's through, in times of adversity, showing a responsibility and taking responsibility on the pitch, because all the things we do during the week ultimately make no difference. It's out there when you're asked those questions, and out there when you find that adversity. It was. We looked at what a game plan was. Our game plan had to be different, because the pitch is ridiculously tough to play on, let's be clear, for both teams. We had to go more direct. We don't want to at times, but we had to. There was things in the first half that pleased me in terms of got us in situations. So I spoke to Odin. Odin had 3 times. He had the lad 1v1 over the far side goal, but he'd been booked and he didn't produce anything for us. So there's other players out there that you may have to give an opportunity to. I thought the subs had a huge impact on the game. Ibby obviously early, especially Todd and Rico in that second half. Todd brought a real calmness and a good decision making base for us, which allowed us to have territory in good parts of the pitch. And if we do that for long enough, we've got people who will score goals. One of them probably a surprise, but really pleased for all the players.
It's a funny old game, football. Ibi Toure, a legend here really in terms of what he's achieved with the club. So to get a big moment here in County Blue, what will that do for him personally?
I hope it'll do an awful lot for him. I've said before. I've said my sort of piece on Ibi. I still have real belief in him. If you ask any League Two manager over the past, 4 years, who one of the most consistent best left backs in the division been, his name will be right up at the top of that list. He's had a tough transition, if you like, and again, some of that my doing, because I've asked him to play an unfamiliar position. Stockport's a different club, there's a different expectation, and Ibi is a really, really good lad, and I hope alongside with Rico and the impact he's had, I hope he has a big impact on it, because it should do. They should take huge confidence and belief in the performance that they've just put in and the impact that they've had on the game. And ultimately, once you're in there, then make sure the shirt's yours and make sure you're part of, hopefully for us, there's something very special in these last 10 games.
Yeah, I suppose if any County fans were maybe wondering what Rico Richards was about, having only seen him here and there, showed what he was about in that second half today.
He did, and we've seen that in bits in training. I spoke to Aston Villa yesterday about him around his game time. Rico knows what he needs to do. Technically, he's a brilliant footballer, can go either side, and can produce moments of quality, and we've seen that throughout training. He's a really, really, really quiet lad. By no means arrogant, and at times probably not confident, but with the ability he's got, he should absolutely be that, and hopefully that will give him the boost to not change his personality, because his personality is why he's so popular within our group. But if he is going to play at the level that his ability deserves, if you like, then you have to border on arrogance a little bit, because ultimately a winger, you want the ball, give me the ball, and he needs to do that. He needs to do that more. We'll try and get him the ball. Again, again, you've seen flashes there, opportunities, and getting into good, as well as working hard, as well as closing down, as well as defending, as well as winning his headers, all them bits. So a really, really positive impact for him in his longest spell on the pitch, and hopefully he can kick on from that.
Todd was a really calming influence down the right-hand side as well. What can you tell us about that addition and Ben Knight coming in as well?
Yeah, exactly that. Experienced, has played most of his football at championship level, above this level. The only concern was his fitness, and how we can get him up to speed, how quickly we can get him up to speed, which again hopefully recovers from tonight, and we see where. So, but that experience, especially this part of the season, is massively important. So we had no cover of that before. We've had some good news with Noiley. He's been given the all clear as such to start heading the ball, and gradually increase that. So who knows? We may see him back in maybe two or 3 weeks if things go well, which is brilliant news. Who else did you ask about?
Ben Knight.
Ben's been with us since January. So Ben was with us at the start of the season just to have a look, if you like, and him have a look at us. And we're trying to build them relationships with the big clubs that are local to us. He got himself injured, had been out all the way through until January. Again, Man City asked could he come in and train with us. So we've built Ben up for the last probably 2-3 months really, from 2 sessions a week to him back, or him training full time. He played in a B team game last week, 45 minutes, and is now available for, I suppose, selection for us. A left-footed right winger, very similar to Rico. Had a really, I suppose, the dream move for him as a young player to Man City, I think, from Ipswich, and has had his troubles with injuries, but as a talent that undoubtedly will hopefully improve us and get that chance, and to be able to have him to, I suppose, to pick from, he's just going to have to wait for that chance now. I think, listen, the difference in those two is that Ben has that little bit of swagger around him, he's a little bit shorter, stockier, but got an absolute wonder of a left foot, and hopefully we can see him out there performing for us.
Ethan and Campsey, they're both off injured. How are they?
Ethan, shoulder. We love a shoulder, so no doubt we'll have him scanned to see where he is. Campsey just cramp. He's obviously been out for a long time. That is I'm not a big believer in cramp, and maybe because I was a centre back and when he ran up and down to take throw-ins, didn't get cramp at all. But that is a tough pitch, and when for someone who's been out for the time Campsey has, I could understand that he would be struggling. Thankfully he's got through. It's important now that we recover, because our schedule requires everybody to be fit and available and ready to put in a shift.
Just quickly on Crawley now on Monday night. Yeah, just very quickly on Crawley on Monday night. Obviously another long journey. A good win for them on Tuesday night and another big test.
Yeah, it's a good team. So again, you have to concentrate game on game, but we've watched bits. We know how Scott wants his teams to play, and they ask questions of you that not many other teams in this league ask in terms of how they go about it. So we go there in good shape. We go there having the ability to look at other people's results on Saturday and make sure we go and do our job on the Monday.
Cheers, Gaffer. Go and get dry.